So lots of other factors that attracted me to go to the UK. And then Chevening Scholarship being one of the most prestigious scholarships in the whole world.
What would you tell somebody right now who is watching us and is a young man, is a young girl? I mean, she's been in Rwanda. Who wants to pursue that scholarship? What are the requirements?
Well, the eligibility requirements are quite clear on the website. So you can just Google Chevening Scholarship and then they will take you to the website, and then I think on the first page, the eligibility criteria is there, like straightforward. But you have to have had like good grades. You have to be a professional, like you have to be working. You have to have worked for at least 2 years
Okay.
in a professional role, because the process itself is a bit hectic. There's loads of essays that you have
Talk
to
about
write.
those essays, man.
Oh, my brother.
I remember the time when we were actually doing that.
Yeah.
I remember when you were writing those essays, man.
Yeah, man.
Nick, what was your hardest moment when you're leaving the UK? Did you ever feel lonely?
Yeah. So people in Rwanda who are watching from Rwanda or anywhere, it could be anywhere, because it doesn't matter where you are. There's something called depression. Depression is real.
Would that be the reason why you decided to say like I am going back home? Because literally you have recently were telling me that you gonna be staying up here, you coming back.
Yeah.
And I would want to know, was it like an easy decision for you to make?
My passion to come back home was most driven by the fact that
Hey, big family, welcome to Boarding Pass Nation. My name is Sam, and we are live from Rwanda. And today's episode is so special. I am joined with one of my longtime friend and a brother, Nicholas. He is a man of many degrees, like a thermometer. He holds a bachelor's degree in theology and Christian leadership. He has a postgraduate diploma in adult education. He has a level 3 diploma in holistic and sports therapy. He holds a master's of science in public health from Middlesex School, London. He's the founder of Infants Health Initiatives, a philanthropist, and entrepreneur. After close to 5 years of studying and working and growing experience and life in abroad, that's in the United Kingdom, he decided to come back to Africa in a world where many people dream of staying abroad permanently. Today we are going to cover this story of this gentleman who decided to come back to his country, and then he builds, help to be a part of other people who are building the country. Without wasting much of the time, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for one and only Mr. Nicholas Kansime. Welcome on the podcast, brother.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for having me today. I am quite humbled and honored to be on your podcast. Shout out to everyone following and subscribing and watching this amazing podcast. Thank you.
Man, it's been a while. Good to see you back, man.
I know, man. I know. It's been about 3 years since we ever saw each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's life. It's part of growth. It's part of life, growth, maturity. That's life. You have to move. You move places.
Yeah.
You shift jobs. You switch countries sometimes. and where necessary, we switch continents. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like so. This gentleman here is, as I've told you, is a friend of mine and a brother too. So I got to know Nicholas. I think like that was like 2018.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, 2018. That's when I met him. If you know me, you've heard about Nicholas, and I've always told people like so many stories about you. And
Why though?
he's one of the people that I've worked with that I have seen who is very focused, very hardworking, and very reliable.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always tell people that besides Toyota as a car, the next person who is reliable is Nicholas. So, man, good to have you. So, I came here in Rwanda. We didn't plan this. And then guess what? I thought I would be coming as going back to the US. Maybe I would go through UK. I remember we talked about that. Like, I would pass by and then check on you, but then see what God did. And then we were able to bump on each other here. And this was something amazing. It's been good to meet you up and to hear what you've been doing in the UK and what you're planning to do here in Rwanda. And congratulations, by the way, on your master's degree in public health.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, tell us, people who are seeing you, people I know they've heard you from me, but people who are trying to explain much about you and who you are. But someone who is watching this podcast for the first time and seeing you for the first time, could you tell us who is Mr. Nicholas?
That's a very difficult question, put simply. But I'd say Nicholas is a single man. Oh, for our viewers, I am single. I am married, not yet, and I have no kids. So yeah, that's me. Besides my personal life, I've tried to pursue education up to a master's degree level. I wanted to do a PhD, but the pressures of life kind of put me on a pause. So I decided to first settle, like have, say, like start a family, have my own address, and like be a responsible person with some people that depend on me. And then obviously trying to implement what I've studied so far. I've done public health from my bachelor's and then to my master's level, and I feel like there's a lot that I've learned over these past years, and I can implement them for the good of the society. So I don't need like a PhD for me to be of value to the society. I can still achieve my life goals with my master's degree. And for all the young people or the academicians over there, don't push yourself. If you want to make a change in your society, you don't need a degree. You just need that passion, that fire in you. Just wake up, get out of your comfort zone, go look for like support, look for whoever you need to bring all the puzzle pieces together and make sure you achieve your thing. Yeah, we've got many examples that we know, that we've heard of, who had no degree but they did amazing stuff. So yeah, cheer up, go for your thing. Um, yeah, I think I've said a lot than expected, but yeah,
I mean, it's a podcast, so we're just here to share. Well, the reason why we put this podcast is it's called Boarding Pass Nation.
I see what you
Everybody is on
mean.
a board.
That's what's up.
Exactly. That's why it's called Boarding Pass Nation, your gateway to global horizon.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
everybody in life, you're on a move.
Hmm.
If you're on one job, you need a boarding pass to another job.
That's true.
If you are if you're on a certain job, if you are whatever you are, you need a shift.
Yeah,
And the reason why we are doing this is we really want to tell stories like
true.
people, most people like in the diaspora, and people here that get inspired and be able to make their move.
True, true.
Well, in the first place, you went to the UK. You've
Yep.
been to the UK. When we talk about UK, we're talking about United Kingdom.
Yep.
In the first place, why did you choose UK, and what was the reason for you to go to the UK?
That's a very interesting question. For starters, um, it's the day I not the day I got two scholarships
Mm-hmm.
in the same month, and
So you went for school.
yeah, so basically, I was still at my former job with do I have to say my former employer? Well, I was a social worker somewhere in Gisenyi, and then during that time, um, that year, sorry, in 1 month, I got a scholarship from the University of Ohio, which is in the US. And as I was still filling all the paperwork and looking for the visa, it was going to be my first time to have like a passport. I never had a passport, and so a few weeks later, like 2 or 3 weeks, I also got an acceptance letter from the UK, and this particular scholarship is called Chevening Scholarship, and it's a scholarship offered by the UK government under what is called FCDO, if I remember well. That's basically Commonwealth. Yeah, it's under the Commonwealth Office. So it's a scholarship designed for all students from Commonwealth member states, of which Rwanda happens to be a member. Yeah, so I applied and I got accepted. In the same month, I got accepted for Ohio State University. And so I had no idea where to go because I'd never been to any of those countries. And I asked my brother and my friend. My brother told me he's been to the US, he's never been to the UK, but he suggested that I go to the UK. And then my friend, who I was living with at the moment, he had never been to any of those countries either, but he said, I think Chevening Scholarship has, it pays a lot of stipend. Yeah. So
The money thing came in.
yeah, so he obviously was looting for me, and he wanted me to go where there was money,
Yeah.
regardless of other factors. So yeah, I'd say I got inspired by both to decide and pursue my master's degree in the UK. But besides their motivation, I also had my own motivation. I had finished my bachelor's degree 2 years before that, and I'm naturally I'm a very progressive man. That's why I like the concept of the boarding pass nation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Every level that you are at should prepare you for a next level,
Sure.
and you have to make sure and work hard that that next level is a level ahead, not backwards. So yeah, I got inspired um, by what other friends had achieved, and I felt like I wasn't very comfortable having a bachelor's degree and just doing, a standard job that pays what 400, 500,000 francs. So I've always wanted to achieve more and become more and be great. Yeah, um, that's how I started my journey to pursue a master's degree. But before that, I wanted to get married.
Talk about that.
So my my goal after my first job, I had saved enough money, and in my plans, I was like, I've saved enough money to either get me married or take me for pay my tuition for a master's degree. And by the time I made my decision, there was no one in the picture. Um, yeah, so if you're there and I approached you during that time, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying no, because I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when marriage failed, it didn't fail, just did happen.
Yeah.
So when it didn't happen,
Priorities just changed.
yeah, that was my plan B. So
Yeah.
my plan B was to go for higher education, which I did. And yeah, I chose to go to the UK. Obviously, lots of other factors included. One of the factors why I personally chose the UK was the fact that there's a rule of law. Like the country is more like Rwanda in terms of rule of law. Like they don't care what position you have in government or in the private sector. If you're in wrong, you have to go down for it. There's rule of law. There's well-structured systems, how things work, healthcare. Um, talk about things like national security. Because in the US, I think there's a possibility of anyone owning a gun. In the UK, it's not allowed. And I don't like places where there's guns. Yeah, it gave me that sense of peace, feeling that I'm going to a
Safety
country.
and all
Yeah,
this
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So lots of other factors that attracted me to go to the UK. And then Chevening Scholarship being one of the most prestigious scholarships in the whole world. We've got different alumni doing great things all over the world. I think we've had like a prime minister in some country in Asia, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have had like a president as well. I think either Korea, well, that's South Korea, or there's notable, iconic names and figures that have gone through this amazing scholarship,
Wow.
and I was proud to be part of it.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's something interesting, man.
please, yeah.
So you're talking about like Chevening scholarship. I've I didn't try so many scholarships, to be honest with you, but I am of the view that Chevening scholarship is one of the most competitive scholarships that I've ever been. And I believe somebody who is watching this podcast, because our main thing is to inspire and let those people who are on a move, who want to shift, who want to board on another kind of life, to be so that they can be inspired. In a brief, what were the procedures you went through? What would you tell somebody right now who is watching us and is a young man, is a young girl? I mean, she's been in Rwanda, she's been Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Africa, and wherever where you're watching us from, who wants to pursue that scholarship? What are the requirements? What does that person has to have? What does he or she has to be prepared of?
Well, the eligibility requirements are quite clear on the website. So you can just Google Chevening Scholarship, and then they will take you to the website, and then I think on the first page, the eligibility criteria is there, like straightforward. But you have to have had like good grades. You have to be a professional, like you have to be working. You have to have worked for at least 2 years
Okay.
in a professional role, and you have to have gotten admitted to a UK university, which you do apply by yourself.
Yeah.
And then once you're done, you just submit your admission letter to the portal, and then they just see it, and then that's one of the criterias. But most importantly, it's the desire and the passion why you want it, because the process itself is a bit hectic. There's loads of essays that you have
Talk
to
about
write.
those essays, man.
Oh, my brother.
I remember the time when we were actually doing that.
Yeah.
I remember when you were writing those essays, man.
Yeah, man.
They were so draining.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's 4 different types of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember what topics, but I know they are very, very
very hectic.
hectic.
You have to research so much.
It's too much, man.
Yeah.
But one of them, the most interesting one, is about your life after completing your studies. Because see, the objective of Chevening Scholarship is to prepare you to become a better person, so that you can give back to the society, either as a leader or an entrepreneur. And I'm very glad that most of my cohort, we left Kigali. It was 9 of us. Yeah, and all of us are doing amazing stuff.
That's beautiful.
Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Dala. Shout out to Honorine. Shout out to Anik in RBC. Shout out to, oh my God, I can't remember her name. Yeah, it was 9 of us. And all of us are doing amazing stuff. Those who are in the government roles, others working with non-government agencies and organizations. We're all doing great stuff. Even the cohorts before us have had amazing stories. Even those who came after us. I can't mention all of their names, but these are guys who have started like companies. They're doing amazing stuff in government institutions. So basically, that's what Chevening Scholarship prepares you for. To go, get education, get the exposure, get the knowledge and know-how, and then come back and implement it.
Right.
I wasn't fortunate enough to get that blessing of coming straight away after my graduation. But yeah, I got blessed in another way. I got a job there after my graduation. I stayed a bit longer, make some, money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at some point, as a young man, as an ambitious young person, you get to a point where money is not everything. You know, it's not because I've got enough or a lot,
Yeah.
but because of the calling. That you see what you're doing and you see what you're supposed to be doing, and there's not much. So you go like, yeah, I think I need to move on. And that's what we were talking earlier, that spirit of progression. Yeah, always venturing into strange situations and conditions, trying to make the possible out of the impossibility. Yeah, basically. That's why.
Great. That's really good and very informative
Yeah.
about Chevening scholarship. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've had if you wanna try that scholarship, which is called Chevening scholarship, which is given by British High Council, right?
No, Commonwealth.
Commonwealth. So
Yeah.
all you have to do, go to their website. When are they always open? Are they
I think
Yeah.
the cycle begins in August
August every year?
every year.
Okay.
So in every August, they do open applications.
Okay.
Then you can apply, and then it goes up to November
Okay.
of the following year.
Okay.
That's when the students move into the UK.
So that means
Yeah.
somebody who is interested in that,
Yeah.
like you should be working on a certain project
Yeah.
and knowing what you want to
Do afterwards.
do after that, and then
Yeah.
you can.
There is a sister scholarship
Mm-hmm.
called Commonwealth Scholarship.
Okay.
So there are two from the same office.
Okay.
Commonwealth Scholarships is only designed for civil servants. So like people who work in government institutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are the only ones that are eligible
For that.
for that particular scholarship. So like the Commonwealth partners with the Ministry of Education here,
Yeah.
and I think the High Education Council or something like that. Then they do give away applications and people apply, but from within the civil servants cluster. And then the rest of us, I was from the non-government agency. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a social entrepreneur, if you work in an NGO, if you work for a charity or a religious organization, yours will have to be the Chevening scholarship. That one, it doesn't matter where you work, as long as you can do those essays and write them properly, you're good to go.
Wow, that's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching right now, the person we're having on this spot is friend of mine is Nicholas. He's an alumni from Middlesex University in London. He's a Chevening scholar and a philanthropist, an educator, and an entrepreneur. So, Nicholas,
Yes.
what was your expectation before going to the UK versus the reality that you made in the UK?
Expectations, I'd say there wasn't a big difference from what I expected and I what the reality was. Besides the weather, because I got there in October, and October, those who have been or who live in the UK, you know, that's that's the time that winter starts.
October.
Yeah, around end of October, November. It's pretty dark and cold. And coming from an equatorial weather
Yeah.
where we have, you know, like nice temperature. Yeah.
You don't expect snow.
You don't. No.
The climate is good. You don't
Yeah.
need AC.
Yeah. So I got there, and then first step out of the terminal, that cold, windy air at Heathrow Airport struck my face, and I felt like my nose was stripped off. Oh my days! I was way.
Yeah.
Um,
It had started to snow, right?
it wasn't snowing because
Yeah.
it normally snows around December.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just windy and
It
then
was just
cold.
windy and cold, like
yeah.
cold wind,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
And it was a strange feeling for me. And I felt myself, I was like, how am I going to survive here?
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't have like a jacket on. All my jackets were in the cabin in my suitcases.
Yeah.
Oh my days. I did suffer like that few seconds. So I jumped back into the terminal, and then but it was during COVID, post-COVID era,
Yeah.
like literally a few weeks after COVID.
Yeah.
And then Rwanda was classed under the amber countries.
What is that?
So during COVID and slightly after COVID, all countries like from Africa, countries in Asia, basically non-European or American countries were classed by the World Health Organization and some of the health institutions in those countries. For example, the UK, where I was going, and some major countries in Europe like Germany, Belgium, even the US. So they had classed countries in according to the severity of COVID spreading or something like that. So Rwanda had done a very good job compared to other countries in Africa. And so they had 3 colors to differentiate these countries. If your country was under red, then that means you're not going nowhere. Yeah, that's no go zone. You don't go. Why? Because you are probably not immunized against COVID. And the measures to fight against COVID were a bit more or less serious in those countries. So you were such a serious threat to the population. Then if your country had done some progress, let's say mass immunization, enforced curfews, enforced use of masks, face masks and gloves, or use of hand sanitizer, then the World Health Organization will put you under amber. So amber,
I get it.
I think, is another word for yellow or orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there were a few countries on the green side. So if your country was in the green, that's
You're good to
fine.
go.
You can
Yeah,
go
sure.
wherever you want. You don't need to have like a face mask. You don't need to have like, you don't need to be quarantined. So even when we came from an amber country, we were quarantined. Shout out to Brenda. Brenda is also achieving that we got quarantined in the same hotel, Premier Inn at Heathrow Airport, Terminal 3. So we got quarantined in there for 2 weeks. Yeah.
A new country, man.
Yeah, man. So 2 weeks you're in this hotel. You're not allowed to socialize or go anywhere. and you're only given 1 hour out of 24 hours to go outside and either have a smoke or do some exercises. Yeah, basically 1 hour, and under a watch or supervision by security guards. So there was no handshaking, there was no proximity,
That was
like
really
talking. Yeah,
tough time.
yeah, but I was used to that because I was coming from, a quarantine, what curfew.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we had a couple of curfews in Kigali, so
Mm.
it was not strange. But yeah, spending the rest of the 23 hours in your room,
Mm.
yeah, you get creative and you create and recreate until you get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first feeling. But I got a sense of like these people are serious with what they mean, they say. I mean, this is being done to protect, obviously, the population, which is a good indicator that you are going in a safe place. So, security wise, I was not bothered. I knew I was going to be secure, I was safe. I wasn't expecting the amount of money that was coming into my account. You know, I never had like pounds or
Yeah.
dollars in my
Yeah.
life. And I remember a few weeks later, I went to Westfield Shopping Center, which is one of the famous shopping centers in West London, and I bought a coat, more like this. It's at home. I looked at this coat and I liked it, and I remember paying £215 for a coat, and afterward, like after a few days, I looked at the value of money that I paid for just a coat, and I was like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
But I remember the value of money in the UK is way, way, way higher than the value of money here. So I was still stuck in my Rwandan interpretation of the value of money. So I felt like this is just peanuts, you know. But later I realized I had used a lot of money for just one piece of cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I sorry to cut you short. When I talking about like your expectations and the reality, like if you ask me, like I remember like you went in the UK and then after like few months I also went to the US. My expectations in the US when I went, because we were told like when you go to the US, man, there's money, you understand? So
Yeah.
so one of the things that actually was in my mind like was about, I mean, we watch movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So one, it was about like the buildings and the neighborhoods, you know, stuff like that. So I thought in the US, like everywhere is like New York City, like you just you know.
Yeah.
I expected to be in the US, and
Nice
then
buildings,
I
nice
get nice
roads.
buildings, nice roads. That's the kind of picture you had. Reaching to the
Yeah.
US, I found is more like just like Kigali. Well, the city is a city, and then the
Yeah.
neighborhoods, people just have like houses and stuff like that. Another thing was like, I mean, I thought like there's money everywhere, and you know, man on trees, you know, stuff like that. That's a kind of like mindset I had, and then it was different. Like, so from that point of view, in the US, for somebody like you, who also had the same background like I do,
Yeah.
was just coming from the same place that we were before going. What was the kind of that picture you had, and exactly what is the UK, and what
Yeah.
kind of picture, based on what people have, and what is the reality there?
To be quite honest, the difference in expectation and the reality came a bit later,
Yeah.
because my university is in North London. So basically, I lived in London for like what? I've been in London until last year. That's when I moved down to Brighton. But I lived in London. I went to school in London. I worked in London. So basically, I didn't know what out of London looked like until when I started traveling after uni. So I'd say in terms of like infrastructure, that was well. I had never imagined London, to be honest. I had zero clue about London or UK. Like just like you, what we've been watching in films and music videos.
Sure, yeah.
We've always been inspired by American, and it's not all of America. Obviously, it could be either Vegas or LA or New York.
Sure, yeah.
That's the picture that we have when thinking of the US. On the other side, I had zero picture of what to expect in the UK.
Yeah.
But when I started moving across the country, I think my first trip was to Manchester. Me and my friends, all these guys that I mentioned earlier. So we were like a same cohort. When we got there, we kind of formed a group on WhatsApp. Like we used to like chat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because obviously, being new people in a new country,
Culture shock.
yeah, you can't like. There's no one to chat to you in Rwanda.
Yeah.
You're still figuring out stuff like uni things, how to use different softwares, how to find accommodation. Yeah, we were chatting about like where to find certain foodstuffs. Like if you want, let's say, for example, Yitochi. Yeah, we used to have like shops where to find whatever. So yeah, we had this group chat that we used to like have a daily chat, and then we organized ourselves. I think it was after the first first semester. I think during that break, we had a trip to Manchester. We went to visit other friends. So basically, there's like a big group of Rwandan students who study in UK universities. We have one big WhatsApp group, but then under that big group, there's different groups. There's Chevening scholars. There's equity and merit guys who go to Manchester University. There's Johnson and Johnson scholarship scholars. There's obviously Commonwealth scholars, and then there are privately funded scholars. Like people with their money who go to
Who
do
just go to the
yeah. So we had some friends in Manchester who were going to Manchester University. As they had appointed me to be the leader of the Chiveners. So we organized a trip to Manchester, we met them, we had fun. Yeah, so I saw Manchester was a bit different from London.
How's it? How far is it from London to Manchester?
From London to Manchester, if you're a good driver, I should say 2.5 to 3 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, on the motorway. It's a bit far. Yeah, there's about 300 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, but we wasn't driving.
Yeah.
We just
Taking
did
the bus. The train.
No, trains for long distance travel trips. They are the best. but they're a bit costly. And being a student at that time, you don't have yet the driving license, and it will be very costly to hire like some like a chauffeur with a car. Yeah, so trains were very convenient. So yeah, or coach. Actually, we went by coach. I remember the National Express. Yeah, it's
Is it
more
like
like
a public transport?
yeah.
Okay.
Here in Rwanda, you could compare that with the Ritiko. Yeah, like they go every corner of the
Of the
country.
country. Okay.
Yeah, so it's called National Express. And yeah, so we went to Manchester, we visited, and then the following day we went up north in Liverpool. That's when we went to the Anfield, the Liverpool Stadium. Yeah, it was fun, but I could tell the difference. It's different in very many realities. People themselves are different. They have different accents. There is the way like traffic or the way the traffic flows in London is a bit different in other cities, obviously. Yeah, but Manchester is again more diverse. Like there's many black people
In the
in
Manchester.
Manchester, and there's many Asians. When we speak of Asians, it's not just Chinese or whatever. It's all the people from the Asian continent. So people from Bangladesh, Pakistani, India, obviously Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever. There's a lot of them, and then Africans, and then Caribbeans. There's a lot of them in Manchester, in Birmingham, Coventry is well known for a lot of Burundians. If you're from
Shout out
Burundi,
to our brilliant friends.
yeah, shout out to you, Burundian friends in Coventry. Yeah, but basically, it was real. The difference from expectation and then reality came to me a bit later, not when I arrived.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Nick, what was your hardest moment when you're leaving the UK? Did you ever feel lonely?
Yeah. So people in Rwanda who are watching from Rwanda or anywhere, it could be anywhere, because it doesn't matter where you are. There's something called depression. Depression is real.
Talk about it.
I'd never been depressed to the point where I needed prescription or like a counselor. But depression is real. I was depressed. Like in that first year, I wasn't depressed, but I got to understand why I was being hyper and doing all these things. Because that was a fighting mechanism. Okay. Setting up a group chat and trying to chat to people on a daily basis.
If I may ask, isn't it about depression? To someone who is in Rwanda, to someone who is watching you, who is in Africa here, you had money. You had school. You had friends that are telling me that you guys went together.
Yeah.
Like someone literally here in Rwanda, there's a slang which is always put forward. They were like, depression, bro, urahaze.
Yeah.
Izo ni indwara z'abana bo mu biryo.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
try to throw more light on that. Like, how would you someone be depressed when actually you're having all that?
Yeah, those are false narratives. It's not because you you are from a rich family or whatever. Depression, I think it depends on your your character, or I don't know how to put it. But there are people who have flourished there. They've been there for ages and they've never been depressed. I was just there for like what, 6 months, and I already started being depressed. And I'd never been depressed when I was here. And I would say I literally was living the same kind of life over there, because even when I was in Rwanda, my circle of friends was limited. Like I didn't go out too much. I was I always like go out for sports and then came back home, did my meals, and just stayed at home alone, watch a film,
Yeah.
go to bed, wake up, go to work. But yeah, obviously there, because there was no job for the first few months, and school was mostly online. Most classes were online because obviously COVID issues.
Yeah.
And so you find yourself spending like a whole week in your house. Now you can't go out to go maybe jog or shop or chat to a
Because
friend
during
because the weather
it's
was
crazy.
mental.
Yeah.
Like it's cold, it gets dark very early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that kind of affected me to getting depressed. Yeah, I had in my first year when I was there, I think I didn't get any episode of depression until the following year
Yeah.
when I had more episodes. I had about four of them, 4 episodes of depression. I don't know the right way to put it, but you literally wake up in the morning and you feel
You're just down.
you don't want to wake up, you don't want to do anything, um, you don't want to go anywhere. Yes, you have the money, you can go places, you can buy whatever you want, but you don't have that um, that energy, that inner energy to push you. Like I would go like 2-3 days without a shower. Can you imagine?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and the bathroom is literally there. There's warm water in there. Everything is there, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, I'm just in my bed. Why should I shower? You know?
Yeah.
You spend like a whole day without brushing. Like you wake up in the morning and then you go in your phone, you scroll, and then before you know it, you're sleeping again.
Yeah.
So by the time you wake up, maybe to go for lunch,
It's
you're already hungry, or you even forget to go brush, and then you're like, ew, I need, this is not healthy. I need to like, you know. Then you realize you are cooked.
so was all that being caused by the bad weather? What was like
I
most of the time?
Yeah.
What causes depression like so
I'd
much?
say, yeah, like I said it earlier, it depends on the person. Because some people are really, really, really crafty with life. It doesn't matter what kind of weather you put them in, they'll figure out how to like live happily, go out, chat to people, explore. I wasn't that. I was a bit reserved, and timid, I'd say, because I didn't like the weather. And then having at the back of my mind, I also had a bit of a fear being a black man in the whole of, well, like those who know London, North London is one of the poshest areas in London in terms of like the people who live there. So most rich
Like it's a high
people,
end.
yeah, basically, most rich people live in North London. and you can tell by how the buildings and houses are spaced. There's lots of parks. There's lots of recreation activities. It's not like South London or East London. So I would say I would move like a whole square mile, and I can bet on you that I was the only black person in the whole
That
square
place.
mile.
So you
So
literally didn't have anybody to talk to.
basically, and there was no, it was not like a hostel
Yeah.
where you could chat to fellow students.
Oh yeah.
This was a private accommodation, so I rented from one of the local members in the community. So yeah, weather is a factor, but again, the personality is also another factor, because my personality is a more reserved personality. I'm not this kind of person who makes friends like
Real quick.
quickly. I'm easygoing. Like, I want to know you before I approach you. I want to watch you from a distance, learn a few things about you, and then find a point where I can connect with you. Yeah, as opposed to people who are always, welcoming and smiling. They don't care where you are. They are always joyful. You look at the person and you're like, are you crazy or something? That's who they are. They're always vibey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So personality is also a big
A
factor.
big factor, yeah.
Yeah.
So that means if you're an introvert, I think I think I just learned this from you, where we were talking about like people who are socially independent and people who are socially dependent. Actually, for me, I didn't expect you to go through that because I know you're a kind of person who is socially independent. Like, man, we used to stay together, and I remember. No, we used to work. I used to work with this guy,
Yeah.
but he used to be in his house for like 2-3 days.
Without going out.
We didn't know like what's going on with you, and
Yeah.
like you be like a solo guy,
Yeah,
So
I've always
so
been.
it kind of like beats my understanding right now. Like when you shifted there, and then that really happened to you, but then you put it straight, like the weather, things change,
Yeah.
like because I remember still that time you'd be in your own house, but then the evening time you'd go in Gisenyi, like
Yeah.
Kivu, and then you
Yeah.
do jog, you do
Like, yeah.
which I think you cannot be fine able to
No,
to
you
do
can't
that
do
in
that
the
over
UK.
there.
What is that one thing? How did UK change your mindset? How did living it, like staying in abroad, like is there any way how it changed your mindset? Is there any way how it really affected you in a positive way or in a negative way?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of changes that happened. My attitude towards living abroad. I had always believed that living abroad is like a privilege. It's like one of the best things that can happen to you. Obviously, when you come back to Rwanda, they call you diaspora.
Diaspora.
Yeah. And the meaning of that is that you obviously have money,
Yep.
which in most cases you don't.
But you guys have.
Yeah, you have what is enough for you, not for everybody. You have what is enough for you, tickets, and then maybe living here, running a few errands, because we're always on a budget. That's another thing. I've learned to work on a budget, like operate my daily life
Yeah.
on a budget basis. So, the social part of it, now there's a habit I left here and I still found it. Like you you wake up, it's like, let's say on a Saturday night, you don't have any money to go spend in a bar, but you just dress up nicely and call someone. You just call them, how are you, where are you?
Yeah.
They tell you maybe we are at Boho. Yeah, you say, can I find you there? And they're like, yeah, you can come. But basically, you're not supposed to go because you don't have money. But someone just takes a motorbike, maybe they have enough money for transport. They go to Boho and, they sit and maybe you already have like a bottle of wine or whatever you're drinking. And they also share what you're drinking. And before you know it, you are drunk. You go home, you've had fun, you've spoken to people. Over there, you have to plan. Yeah, you have like to plan where you're going, and you have to have the budget for it. So yeah, it has affected me in terms of budgeting for my life and for my daily life. Obviously, the way I've always thought about living abroad, it's not the ultimate gift of life. No, you can still live here and be successful,
Yeah.
but you can still live abroad and be successful. So it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you put in the work, you put in the discipline, you get your life goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it's so different. Like to me, there's a lot of things that actually really changed my life, and I think one of them is about time.
Time, yeah.
And time, service.
Yeah.
I found myself like really complaining here if I really happen to get a poor service.
Yeah.
So when I came here, there's a friend of mine. Then we had we were going somewhere, and then so he asked me like, what time are we supposed to be leaving? And then I told him we were supposed to be leaving. I think it was like 5 a.m. in the morning. And then we agreed about that. And then so this guy thought like, I'm not gonna make it to the time. So we were supposed to go. Actually, we were like three of us. And then I reached the guy's place. The guy was still sleeping. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then, so he called the other guy who was supposed to go with, because we were going up country. And then I was like, hey, let's go. It's like, man, it's still early. And then, funny enough, the guy he replied to him, is like, bro, erega ibuka ko nagiye n'umunyamerika. So it's funny, like that's like something that I've really come to realize, and where they always say that time is money. Indeed, time is money. Like, remember, like we work per hour. So if you don't work, if you don't work that time, you're not gonna be paid.
In economics, I think they call it what? Time rate.
Yeah. We met of recent, and then I know you having, you are clearly bold to tell me that, you know what, man, I've done what I've done in the UK. I've got my bachelor's degree. I have been working, and I remember I was still in the US. Well, I'm still in the US. But there's a time when we were talking about, and then you talked about when you were putting out proposals and all things about your non-profit organization, which is called Infant Health Initiative. In simple terms and in a few words, as we're almost heading to our conclusion of this discussion, when did the dream of starting that come, and what is it all about?
So if you remember well, when we were talking about Chevening Scholarship, my life after UK essay, because that's one of the 4 essays, Um, you have to like come up with a project, something that you're going to do
To do, yeah.
when you come
When you
back.
come back, yeah, sure.
So mine was to come and start like an initiative or like an organization against or a campaign against malnutrition among infants. So when we talk about infants, for those who do not know, infants are different from children. Infants are defined as babies below the age of 5. So where I was working in Rubavu, I used to see a lot of these babies malnourished, and it was always my desire to see their lives being changed. And so I was inspired in that way to write an essay of how I'm going to fight malnutrition. So when I got to the UK during my master's, one of my courseworks was about health policy. There's a unit called health policy where you learn how health policies are drafted and structured and designed. And in that coursework, I wrote a paper about fighting malnutrition among infants. So I was more inspired by the research I did during that time. And yeah, that's how I came up with that idea, calling my initiative Infant Health Initiatives.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really looks good. That's really that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So would that be the reason why you decided to say like I am going back home? Because literally of recent we are telling me that you gonna be staying up here, you coming back.
Yeah.
And I would want to know, was it like an easy decision for you to make?
Yeah.
Like to be like, because to be like, you know what, I've been here for enough time, I am going back home. Because to be honest with you, it's one of the hardest decisions. Like you've been in the US, you've been in the UK, like people in the abroad, you're making your dollars, you're making your pounds, and you decide be like, you know what, 4 years, right? And like I'm going back home. You, the first person who has been in the abroad, I've heard like saying like, in these few years, I'm going back home. How was it? How did it come? Was it easy for you to do that? And why did you do it so?
To be quite fair, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So the idea came in summer last year. So at some point in my company, we lost a lot of staff. And then most of us had to like cover many hours working. And I kept looking at how hard I am working for somebody.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, what if I was working this hard for myself?
Beautiful.
Or doing something that actually impacts lives in my country or in another country. Yes, you get the money, but there's a cost of making that money.
Yeah.
You get tired, you get weary.
Working long hours.
Working long hours, you get less appreciated. You don't speak to your family like you're supposed to. You don't have any social life at all. Sometimes you lose your mind as well. Like you go mental. But my passion to come back home was most driven by the fact that as a master's degree holder, I quite often found myself working with people who never been to school. And because they did like short courses, they end up in managerial positions and they are leading me and they're despising my education and my experience simply because I'm an immigrant. they don't see the value of my education or experience. And that was very, very depressing. You could be doing some good things, but you can't because of who you are at the moment. I know there was like hope in the future, but sorry, my patience was very limited, like very little. I couldn't wait to get that point. And plus, I had other things to do that I felt were more important than me staying over there. Like, I could remember like kids that were malnourished that could be benefiting from my initiative. And I knew I had the potential to be the voice and to change their lives. So that was also another driving factor. But at the apex of it, obviously with work and stuff, with co-workers, managers, how you get treated, I fell out with my manager and I couldn't take it anymore. And I didn't want to go in the hassles of finding a new job and stuff. So I told him, I'm done. I resigned. I simply resigned.
You simply resigned?
I simply resigned. Yeah, that's literally what happened. Yeah, I resigned. I couldn't take any more conditions they were giving me because I felt like I was less appreciated. And I have a country that loves me. I have a country where I come from. Yes, I was an economic immigrant, but I'm not a refugee. I have a family here. I've got friends. I've got a country that loves me, that would love me to come back and serve and work and add to the society. I love my country, and there's lots of opportunities where you can come and start afresh, start a new life and flourish. So I just felt I need to go home. Yeah, it kept burning in my heart like since summer last year. But I was waiting for that time to prepare everything, to live peacefully, to do A, B, C, D in order and then go. But when that happened to me,
You're like,
it was the biggest disrespect of my life. So I couldn't take it. I just stormed like out of my comfort zone, and I booked my ticket. So yeah, just came home.
well, thank you, Nicholas, for such an informative story you've shared with us. Your journey in the UK. It's been really good. It's been really good to talk to you and to share a story to the world. I believe you guys have picked up something. If you've been planning to go to the UK, you've got to know all the areas you can go through if you want to apply for Chevening scholarship, the life in the UK and what he's aiming to do here, and all people in the diaspora who are probably willing, feeling like you should go back to your country and then be able to build your country and then do something. So it is what it is. You should. I hope you really got a great insight from this conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, it's called Born Impersonation, your gateway to Global Horizon. My name is Sam, and I'm your host. God bless you. See you when you see me. Thank you. Bye-bye.